This is the almond orchard in which the two trucks were found about 100 feet in from the road. Fresno police have identified a second suspect in last week's convenience store murder. One man is dead tonight after he was shot inside a home in southwest Fresno. Battling the blaze hasn't been easy for firefighters. They're also having to deal with steep hills, weeds, bushes, some very rough terrain. The two victims then tried running off. One of the victims tripped and fell right over here. So for tomorrow, we're going to be seeing a lot of the same as what we saw today. In the morning, it's going to be in the 60s, and then temperatures will bump right back up into the 90s by the afternoon. I had no clue, honestly. Jessica is awesome. That was really impressive. It was amazing. I was telling you earlier, withdrawals, yeah, Hawaii withdrawals like a week after. I know. As you can see, this place is starting to fill up pretty quickly as everyone prepares to see the opening ceremony on these big screens.
They're almost there. Good job.
Oh my gosh.
Awesome.
That was intense.
Do a couple
totally
more.
Out of shape. I'm Audrey Asistio in for Faith Sidlow. Here's what's coming up in the next 30 minutes of KC Sunrise. Matt's live at Woodward Park with a preview of Henry V. But first we go to Pamela, who's looking at what's trending on the web this morning. A woman was taken to the hospital in serious condition after a head-on collision near Lemoore Naval Air Station. The accident happened just before 9 last night on Highway 198 near State Route 269. The Highway Patrol says a Chevy HHR was going west on 198 when the driver suddenly swerved into the path of an oncoming tomato truck. Chevy sustained major damage and the tomato truck overturned. The driver of the Chevy, a 20-year-old woman from Hanford, was airlifted to the hospital. The truck driver was not hurt. Highway 198 was closed for several hours while crews cleaned up 40 to 50,000 pounds of tomatoes. The Merced District Attorney's Office says it's the largest seizure of methamphetamine ever by Central Valley law enforcement. The street value of the meth seized in Operation Crystal Clear is more than $9 million. The bust is the result of an investigation that began in April. Now, the investigation resulted in the seizure of more than 330 pounds of meth, more than $100,000 in cash, and the arrest of 11 suspects. A 6-month-long investigation has landed several people in jail. Last night, Clovis police arrested 3 people they say stole state lottery tickets, cartons of cigarettes, and other items from stores around the state. Detectives booked 41-year-old Julian Zuniga Sr. of Clovis, 46-year-old Sandra Poe, and 27-year-old Lilia Pinedo into the Fresno County Jail. The 2 women are from Fresno. The Clovis investigation began in January after thefts from Super Liquor at Minnewawa and Shaw and the Shell gas station at Peach and Shaw. Now, Clovis police say Zuniga and Poe may be responsible for as many as 20 burglaries around the state. Well, the KC Sunrise time is 5:34. Still ahead, weather and fun with Matt out at Woodward Park. He's at the preview of the Woodward Shakespeare Festival featuring Henry V this weekend. Good morning. Thanks for tuning in to KC Sunrise. The time is 5:37. Now, Matt, I saw you climbing that stage earlier. Really nice stage out there.
Stop.
Yeah. Oh, gosh, that's really cool. And it sounds like an amazing show. I'm really excited to see it. Good morning. Time is 5:44. Take a look at the temperature today. 105, still hot enough to keep cooling centers open. Sunny skies, winds of up to 10 miles an hour coming from the west. Well, it's time for a check of traffic. Here's Rob Johnson with the latest. Good morning, Rob.
Good morning, Audrey.
Well, Pamela joins us once again. Pamela, there's buzz about Kristen Stewart this morning.
There is. Was it beautiful weather the whole time you were there?
It was like sprinkling, but who cares? Like, you're in Hawaii, right? So it was amazing. I was telling you earlier, withdrawals, yeah, Hawaii withdrawals like a week after.
I know.
Good morning. Time is 6:57. Here's a final look at your 7-day forecast. Triple-digit heat for the entire week. 105 degrees today, and then things will start cooling down just a tiny bit, 102 by Sunday. Now here's a quick look at this morning's top stories. The Big Fresno Fair is looking to fill nearly 800 positions today. Available jobs include office staff, security guards, customer service, and carnival staff. Applicants should bring a photo ID and their social security card to today's job fair. The job fair runs from 9 this morning until 2. The murder trial of George Banda is underway in Tulare County. Banda is accused of killing Sheriff Detective Kent Hawes back in 2007. Attorneys gave their opening statements yesterday, and the prosecution called several witnesses to the stand. The trial is expected to last a couple of weeks. And Valley Democratic Congressman Dennis Cardoza says he will resign today. Cardoza was elected to the 18th congressional seat back in 2002. The Valley Democrats cited family reasons for his departure. Well, stay tuned for the Today Show, followed by CVT at 11. Have a wonderful morning. This is the parking lot in which the shooter took his own life, as you mentioned, after shooting and killing his neighbor. It's a tragedy that's got many in disbelief. A shooting at this condominium complex in Fresno leaves a 59-year-old man dead. Moments later, the 74-year-old shooter takes his own life. It's got people who live here questioning, how could this happen?
It defies reason. It doesn't make sense. It's completely uncharacteristic of this neighborhood. This is a very safe place to live.
It's the tragic ending to a 5-year dispute between neighbors over a dog.
What we know today is that this dog was going into the backyard of the neighbor's residence, which upset this individual. Tonight, that 74-year-old male went over to the neighbor, began to yell and scream.
Police say the 59-year-old went outside and the two got into a physical fight. They eventually went back into their condos. A short time later, the 74-year-old banged on the victim's door, yelling at him to go outside, and shot him.
What we have learned is that the 74-year-old walked up to the victim, what we believe to be as he was lying face down, and fired 2 more rounds, one of those in the back of the victim's head.
Police say the suspect took off in this maroon Acura and was found at this parking lot in front of Macaroni Grill in River Park. Police spotted the car and surrounded it.
When they got out of their patrol vehicle, the suspect, the 74-year-old white male, while seated in the driver's seat, raised a firearm, placed it in his mouth, fired 1 round, and killed himself.
It's a tragedy that's got neighbors in disbelief.
Well, that's just not what we people do as a community. So that's all. And just, I'm so sad for the family.
Now, police have not yet released the victim or suspect's names, but reliable sources have told us that the suspect was 74-year-old Dan Anderson. The victim was 59-year-old Franco Cardoza. Now, we, of course, will bring you the latest details as they become available. For now, I'm Audrey Asistio reporting live in Fresno for KC24 News. It wasn't quite raining cats and dogs in Los Banos, but Elaine Bouchard and her grandson Taylor said it was a miracle when they saw this tiny dog fall from the sky.
Right about here is where Taylor started yelling that he saw the puppy.
All of a sudden, I just saw this little puppy laying there. He was almost dead.
I looked up, and the hawk was just flying right here, circling around. And at that point, we all then just went to the puppy.
They did what many would do. They picked it up and kept it.
My thought is that when a God drops a puppy from the sky, you keep it.
Bouchard thinks the hawk may have grabbed the puppy from a junkyard because he was greasy when they found him.
If you look right here, there's 3 little clutch marks right here where it had hold of him flying. And when he hit the ground, he bounced.
She plans to add the miracle puppy to her mix of cats, dogs, horses, and yes, she even owns a couple of hawks.
I actually think God just dropped me a baby to have for Mother's Day. So this was my baby for Mother's Day.
Bouchard's still trying to figure out why the hawk decided to release the puppy from its clutches, and she's got a good guess.
He is so wiggly, and his nose, he's such a little bulldozer, I could actually see him wiggling right out of the talons of it.
It's a gift from the sky she's decided to name TJ Heavenly.
How cool is this? Okay? Again, pennies from heaven, puppies from heaven.
Yes, well, you are in luck. Ask and you shall receive. But we will be flirting with the triple digits just a bit, and that's because we do have a high pressure system that's going to be dominating our area for the entire week. That's what's going to be bringing us very clear skies and pretty much warmer than average temperatures for the entire week. Right now, though, it's beautiful out there. Very cool. 81 degrees in Fresno. Dew point at 49. Relative humidity at 32%. no winds in sight. And taking a look at other areas of the North Valley right now, it's 75 degrees in Los Banos, 74 in Madera, 72 in Mendota, 71 in Coalinga. In the South Valley, very nice there as well. 70 degrees right now in Visalia, 72 in Corcoran, 73 in Tulare, and 70 in Porterville. In the mountains, of course, always just a bit cooler. 68 degrees right now in Yosemite, 71 in Oakhurst, 64 at Shaver Lake, 70 at Three Rivers, 59 at Sequoia National Park. And for tonight, our temperatures are going to dip down into the 60s, 66 in Fresno, mostly clear skies with winds up to 10 miles an hour coming from the northwest. That starts a little after midnight or so. And so for tomorrow, we're going to be seeing a lot of the same as what we saw today in the morning. It's going to be in the 60s, and then temperatures will bump right back up into the 90s by the afternoon. So 95 will be the high in Merced, 96 in Mendota, 96 in Coalinga. In the South Valley, much of the same, 98 in Visalia, 99 in Tulare, 98 in Delano, 97 in Corcoran. And in the mountains, there is a slight chance of a thunderstorm around the afternoon, but that's a very slight chance if that even happens. So the high, though, will be 78 in Yosemite, 93 at Oakhurst, 81 at Shaver Lake, 79 at Sequoia National Park. Our air quality for tomorrow will stay in the moderate range for the entire valley. And now for your allergy report brought to you by the Allergy Institute and Dr. A.M. Aminian. It's going to stay in the high range. Our predominant pollens to look out for are grass and echinopods. And now taking a look at our 7-day forecast. Tomorrow will be the hottest day of the week, 99 degrees, definitely flirting with triple-digit heat, but never reaching it. By Wednesday, temperatures will dip down just a bit, 2 degrees at 97, and will continue to be that way until Saturday. By Sunday, 95 degrees, a little bit cooler, if you could call that cool. Of course, it's still going to be hot out there, and by Monday, 93 degrees. So it is another hot week ahead of us, but not quite touching the triple-digit heat. Thanks for joining us this evening. Deputies say 2 men are dead after a double murder in eastern Fresno County. It happened this afternoon in the area of Central and Cherry. Dan Rubin joins us now with more. Fresno County search and rescue personnel are currently on the site of a plane crash which happened in 1971. The site is located near Horse Thief Lake in the Sierra National Forest north of Huntington Lake. Yesterday morning, a cross-country hiker stumbled upon the crash site and reported it to rangers. Eagle One responded to the location this morning. An investigation is underway. Fresno police have identified a second suspect in last week's convenience store murder. Police say Dwayne Dodson tried to rob a convenience store near the corner of Tulare and 7th Streets Thursday night. During the robbery, a store clerk was shot and killed. Police say Christopher Roberts also took part in the robbery. He was arrested on Friday. Dodson is a paroled gang member. He's considered armed and dangerous. The Madera Sheriff's Department is investigating an officer-involved shooting in Chowchilla. Police were called to Robertson Boulevard near Front Street last night. Witnesses reported seeing a woman lying on her back in a vacant lot. Police say when officers approached the woman, she pointed what appeared to be a gun at them. She refused to put the weapon down, and they opened fire. It was later determined she was holding a fake gun. The woman was taken to the hospital. Her condition is not known. The South Valley slaughterhouse accused of animal cruelty has reopened. The U.S. Department of Agriculture shut down the Central Valley Meat Company in Hanford last week. This after receiving disturbing video from an animal rights group. The group claims workers abused and tortured downed cows. The plant came up with a plan to correct the issues, and the USDA has accepted it. Officials say the investigation is ongoing. Fresno State is receiving national recognition for getting its students over the finish line at a reasonable price. Angela Greenwood joins us with more from the university. What began as a horrible traffic accident ends with an emotional reunion. Rogue was reunited with family today after he had been missing for 5 months. Rogue and his owner, Rick, were involved in a fatal car crash. His owner died from the accident. Rogue disappeared during that crash. Rick's family said they tried looking for him for months but had no luck. They assumed Rogue must have crawled off and died after the accident.
We gave up probably a hope that we'd ever find him in probably June, and here he is now. So we're just so grateful to SPCA.
Now, 2 weeks ago, Rogue was spotted walking in traffic near Fresno State University. He was brought to the SPCA in Fresno. Sarah Quinn adopted Rogue after finding him on the SPCA website. Her boyfriend's cousin is Rick, Rogue's owner, who died from that car crash 5 months ago. Well, it's time now for a check of the weather. Here's a live look at Fresno from our KC24 Skycam. Beautiful. And here's Chief Meteorologist AJ Fox now from the Weather Plus Center with a first look at your forecast. Hi, AJ. Sounds great to me. Thanks so much, AJ. Well, Sea Lion Cove at Fresno's Chaffee Zoo opens to the public today. Sea Lion Cove is the zoo's first major exhibit funded by Measure Z. It includes a nose-to-nose viewing window to see the sea lions up close and personal. It also has a cliff viewing area and an underwater viewing window. Well, coming up on KC24 News at 7, Senator de los Santos will join us for the good, the bad, and the ugly. You're watching KC24 News at 7. Lots of stuff going on in the world of sports today. Senator de los Santos joins us now with the good, the bad, and the ugly. Thanks for joining us on KC24 News at 7. Remember, for the latest news, sports, and weather, log on to KC24.com.